Hi everyone, thank you for clicking on the video. Beautiful day, Friday, March 21st, 2025. I'll apologize in advance if there's some microphone or audio problems. It is a little bit breezy today, but we'll get through it. I wanted to give you a yard and garden update. As I mentioned in a past video, we've been getting the purples and the orange crocuses already for well over a week, but for some reason the whites always come last, and now we're getting the whites, so kind of beautiful. A few more whites poking up over here. Orange is about done and dying. Let's see if we can get through this whole thing without the wind messing up the audio, but a lot of purples there. A lot of tulips coming up, daffodils, you name it, we've got it coming up. I did mention it was a beautiful day, but as far as temperature, I think we're supposed to get to like plus 13 today. Give you another general yard and garden overview here. Actually, let me go over here. Garlic, I've shown this in previous videos, but garlic appears to be coming up okay, although there was a frost this morning. They didn't seem to like that much, but I will also mention, you guys might be wondering what all this is in the garden. No, those are not weeds. After I cultivated in the fall, after we closed out the garden, we always plant mustard, and it's good for the soil. We just let it die and cultivate it back in. It's good nitrogen, good nutrients for the soil. No asparagus poking up yet, although I expect to see it soon. You can see we've got quite a large asparagus bed. Do have some rhubarb coming up, which is normal. It's pretty hardy, even if we get a few more frosts, which we will. They seem to survive pretty good. But I think the biggest update I wanted to give you today, actually before I go on, this one's black currant, blooming nicely. I think this is red currant. For some reason it's a little bit behind, and these are those berry trees that I mentioned in a previous video. They're very, very sour, but very nutritious. Little purple berries. I don't remember what they're called, but they always bud very early. But moving on to, if any of you watched my previous video or videos, I've been struggling with molehills and mole problems. You can see all these patches of dirt in the yard. If you didn't see my previous videos, maybe go check those out. You'll get a little bit of history on those. But yeah, sorry, I can hear the wind picking up. But speaking of the wind, this is something I'm trying for the moles. They're a mole deterrent. You can see I've got a metal post driven into the ground, little fishing line, and a sinker, and you can hear it in the background. As long as we've got a little bit of a gentle breeze or a wind, you know, this will continue to tap. Moles do not like vibration or noise. If you try to walk up on one, they're gone. They can sense any kind of noise or vibration. So sure, the wind dies down, but I've got these posts scattered throughout the yard. Some of them aren't, they're just temporary. This is here permanently just to reinforce this when we get a big wind. But I've got them scattered on the fence posts. I got them all over the place, so we'll see if it really works. I've got my doubts. The system works. I'm sure if that washer's tapping away, they don't want to have anything to do with it. They'll stay probably a meter or two away from this area. But the problem is we need at least a little bit of a breeze for it all to work. And this is Lithuania. Wind is usually around, but some days it does get calm, and you can see today it's calm enough where I don't have enough wind for it to do the tapping. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted on the new method for trying to deter moles or cormous. Yeah, you can see right here, for example, there's some tapping, but you can also see a fresh little push-up from a mole. So we'll see if it really works. I'll keep you guys posted. I don't have my hopes up. Again, as I've said many times in the past, I've just made my peace with having moles and accepted the fact that I'm going to have mole hills. But it's not a big deal. I can deal with it. Thanks. It's not all ATV rides and walks in the forest around here. That's right. My life is more than ATV rides, walks in the forest, playing around in the yard and garden, all the other things I do outside. I do have a lot of household chores that I've taken on, especially since my wife is still out of the country. So I've taken on some extra duties. I try to just do a little bit each day. I don't do everything from one end of the house to the other all in the same day. One day I'll do some vacuuming, another day scrubbing floors, another day toilets and sinks, another day dusting. I do dishes by hand a couple times a week. Silly thing you'll see in one of these clips that we do have a dishwasher. I use the dishwasher to dry the dishes that I've already washed by hand. Again, drives my wife crazy, but I actually do. Many of you don't realize or know, I still do have an actual job. It's not a full-time job. It's about 30 hours per week. Some weeks it sure feels like a full-time job. But the extra income is obviously nice, but also it's good to keep me busy. Who knows how long that'll keep going. So my day is pretty full. It starts at about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I am going pretty much nonstop until about 9 o'clock at night when I cash it in and fall asleep. Um, I think the other thing is, summer's coming up, so it's only going to increase the things that I have to do, from cutting grass to trimming weeds, etc. So when Saturday comes around and I want to sit down and watch YouTube and drink beer, I don't feel too guilty. But there's a couple things I want to talk about in this clip. One of them is there's actually a road out in the forest that I'd never gone down. I've always been afraid to kind of go down because there was a road sign that I wasn't quite sure what it meant. I don't want to get in any trouble here, so more about that here in a minute. But more importantly, I did want to talk about all these things, that I was talking about in the previous clip about all these chores. But basically, to cut to the chase, talk a little bit about me getting old and looking old. But back to my little journey or adventure on this road. So this new road that I'm going to take, just coming up here, it's supposed to go to a nice lake. I've seen it on Google Earth. I've just never seen it with my actual eyes. But you'll see up here, I'm going to take a left, and you'll see two road signs. The first one simply means it's a dead end, and the second one is very perplexing. I'll clue you in on that in just a second. So here's the sign. Basically, it just looks like the front end of a car. And you Americans might be wondering, what does this mean? It could mean anything. It means, turn on your headlights. It may mean, cars only. Who knows? Well, here's the answer to that. In Lithuanian road sign language, what this sign means is cars are not allowed. Not allowed. Only motorcycles are allowed. So go figure. Very confusing road sign, at least to Americans, but at least I know now, and my quad bike is considered a motorcycle, so it's legal to ride it on this road. One thing I forgot to mention in my previous list of day-to-day tasks is, of course, our dog Pippa. I bet you I spend right now at least an hour a day just with Pippa, taking her for walks, preparing food, cleaning her eyes. But again, why am I telling you all these things? It's certainly not because I'm complaining, not complaining at all. I love to have things to do. I'm not trying to get sympathy. I know many of you probably have a busier life than I do. There are people out there who, have kids, full-time job, etc. So again, it's not out of sympathy, but to cut to the chase, the reason I'm talking about all these things is I've noticed recently that I am really starting to look old. It's not just in the last year, probably last couple years, but I think most of my viewers, or at least a lot of my viewers, and I don't have that many, um, knew me personally or know me personally and knew me personally before I even had a YouTube channel. There's a few of my viewers that have known me my whole life. So for you to see me with dark bags under my eyes and loose skin and not looking so young may come as a bit of a shock to some of you. It comes as a shock to me. I think it started a couple of years ago where I was actually in my daughter's wedding. I was looking at some of the photos of the wedding, and it actually occurred to me, like, who is that tired old man? And I realized it was me. I didn't even recognize myself in some of the photos. So yes, I am aging. And again, for those of you that do know me, don't worry. I feel fine. I may not look that great, but I feel fine. In fact, about 5 years ago, when I was doing a lot of the heavy work around here, I think it was 50 years old, so I'll be 56 this year. But anyhow, I felt great. I literally felt like I was 30 years old. I was probably as fit as I had been in 2 decades. Again, probably didn't look that great, but the main point is for those of you that know me personally, don't worry about the way I look. I'm just getting old. And on the topic of getting older, it definitely, as mentioned, I do have pretty busy days, but I do take the time to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, no matter what I'm doing, especially outside. I'll stop every once in a while, even for a minute or two, and just kind of take in the scenery and smell the fresh air. I don't take it for granted. And For all of you older gentlemen out there, not to sound like red green, take care of yourself. There's another hot tip that I can give you if you don't already know. If you're doing some hard work, stop and breathe every once in a while, especially like if you're shoveling snow or shoveling dirt. I make it a point if I'm shoveling snow every 5 minutes or so, I'll stop for 30 seconds or a minute and just let the heart slow down, breathe a little bit. Every year or every month, you read in the newspaper some old fool tipped over from a heart attack at the end of his driveway because he was shoveling too hard. We can still work at this age. You just got to do it smarter, not harder. And here's a little side road that I used to be able to go down quite far. And as you'll see here in a second, can't get very far on it now. Of course, I could get through it. I could put it in four-wheel drive and get all muddy and dirty. I don't want to do that. But clearly, there's a lot of standing water. I'm pretty certain this is due to beaver activity. There must be a beaver dam because, like I said, I used to be able to get down this road no problem. Here's something I can't believe I haven't talked about yet. It's a big part of Lithuanian day-to-day life. Lithuanian bread, or more to the point, Lithuanian rye bread. Go through a lot of this stuff. I think it's the best in the world. I think you can probably get decent rye bread in the US. I think a lot of people are more used to like a pumpernickel when they talk about brown bread, but this is a true Lithuanian rye bread. This one, I could stand on it and it's not even going to compress. It's a pretty solid piece of bread. You've eaten something. It's delicious. This particular one I think has sesame seeds and hemp seeds. Very healthy stuff.